Imagine slipping on a single stone and feeling like someone just handed you Mother Nature's cheat code. Sounds wild, right? But that's exactly what moss agate's been doing for farmers, healers, and even modern-day grind warriors for centuries. If you've ever wondered why certain people seem instantly calmer, luckier, or just unstuck, stick around, because it might be written in their stars and in their jewelry box. In the next few minutes, we're uncovering which zodiac signs get a front row seat to this gem's grounded magic, how it flips stress into steady momentum, and why even the most skeptical spreadsheet lovers are sneaking one into their pockets. Ready to see if you're on the VIP list? Let's dive in. First things first, what is moss agate really? Mineralogists classify it as a chalcedony, a microcrystalline variety of quartz. Under the microscope, it's silicon dioxide all the way, just like ordinary quartz, but it comes laced with thread-thin inclusions of chlorite or hornblende. Those green, plant-like patterns are why collectors swear every slice looks like a miniature terrarium. According to the Gemological Institute of America, the stone lands between 6.5 and 7 on the Mohs hardness scale, so it's tough enough for daily jewelry without chipping every time you reach for your car keys. Now, a quick mini tour through history. Traditional accounts credit Native American tribes with using moss agate as a talisman for weather and crop success. Farmers in 18th century Britain even hung it in their fields for the same reason. Fast forward to 2022 and a how stuff. Work's Crystal Deep Dive still calls moss agate the gardener's good luck charm, linking its earthy energy to growth and renewal on a symbolic and literal level. Bottom line, people across centuries have noticed that wearing or working with this stone feels like walking barefoot in damp grass, grounded, fresh, and quietly uplifting. All right, let's talk metaphysics for a minute, but with a sensible lens. Crystal healers place moss agate at the heart chakra because green tones naturally correlate with that energy center. Medical science hasn't declared crystals a cure-all, but mainstream research has confirmed that exposure to the color green and images of nature lowers cortisol levels. Journal of Environmental Psychology, 2015. So even if you're a skeptic, wearing a moss-hued stone you can stare at during a stressful commute can deliver real nervous system benefits. With that foundation set, it's Zodiac time, probably why you clicked this video in the first place. Think of astrology as an energy-matching game. Every sign carries core traits, and gemstones act like amplifiers or balancers. Moss agate's keywords are stability, patience, gentle growth, and emotional equilibrium. Here's how that plays out sign by sign. Taurus, April 20th, May 20th, our earthy heavy lifters. Taurians crave consistency and tactile pleasure. Moss agate's steady frequency pairs perfectly with that slow and steady wins the race mentality. Gem therapists say the stone nudges bulls out of occasional stubborn ruts by softly whispering, adaptation is still comfortable. Kind of like upgrading from an old armchair to an ergonomic throne. Practical tip, wear a moss agate pendant that sits over the chest so its heart chakra vibes remind you to express affection, not just provide it through acts of service. Virgo, Aug 23, Septa 22. Precision masters and natural problem solvers. Virgo energy can tilt toward overthinking and perfection anxiety. Moss agate soothes that mental buzz, turning checklists into calm rituals rather than stress triggers. A 2023 University of Exeter pilot study on green microbreaks found that looking at natural imagery for just 40 seconds improved concentration. Same trick here, only the scene is frozen inside your ring. Pop a moss agate worry stone in your pocket before big presentations. It's like pressing a forest reset button for your brain. Scorpio, Octa 23, Nov 21. Deep water detectives of the Zodiac. Intense emotions? Check. Magnetic charm? Double check. But sometimes Scorpios bottle up feelings until they erupt. Moss agate encourages slow, healthy processing, dispersing emotional storm clouds the way moss drinks rain. Anecdotal feedback from energy workers, and yes, countless Reddit crystal threads, says Scorpios sleeping with a palm stone under the pillow report fewer vivid nightmares and more dream insights. Think of it as emotional composting, transforming heavy stuff into growth fuel. Sagittarius, Nov 22, Date 21. Our adventurous philosophers. Fire sign, restlessness can lead to scattered focus. Moss agate grounds. Sag energy without clipping those travel-loving wings. It's the portable campsite that says, sure, chase horizons, but plant spiritual roots too. Pro tip, thread a small moss agate bead onto your camera strap or backpack zipper. Every selfie in a new country then carries an extra layer of mindful exploration. Aquarius, Jan 20, Feb 18. Innovators with humanitarian hearts. Air signs sometimes float so high in idea space that they forget the body needs a breather. Moss agate's connection to Earth helps anchor Aquarian brainstorms into actionable plans. Pairing it with a clear quartz point for amplification makes a tiny think tank. Engineers I've interviewed swear keeping that combo on their desk boosted workflow without another espresso shot. Placebo or not, it costs less than a latte. Pisces, Feb 19, Mar 20. Empathetic dreamers, sometimes sponges for everyone else's vibes. Moss agate acts like a filter, letting compassion flow while blocking emotional overload. A 2024 survey on holistic nursing practices found nurses who carried grounding stones, moss agate ranked highest, reported 15% lower self-rated burnout after 12-hour shifts. If you're a Pisces artist, tap the stone before painting to convert empathy into creativity rather than exhaustion. You might have noticed Gemini isn't on that top 6 hit list, even though some sources include it. Quick clarification. Moss agate can help Geminis articulate complex feelings because it steadies racing thoughts. It simply shines brightest with signs that either belong to Earth or crave grounding. But nobody's barred from the Gemstone clubhouse. If you feel drawn to it, trust that pull. Let's shift to the practical how of wearing moss agate, because placement matters. Rings keep the stone within your peripheral vision, ideal for mindfulness reminders. Index finger rings, according to traditional hand symbolism, amplify personal authority and creativity, great for anyone pitching ideas. Pendants over the heart region target emotional growth. Bracelets allow energy to pulse along meridian lines, useful for Reiki practitioners channeling calm. Earrings? Perfect subtle talismans that nudge the throat chakra for clearer speech. Caring for moss agate is refreshingly low maintenance. Thanks to that Mohs hardness near 7, it resists scratches better than softer favorites like selenite or calcite. Clean with lukewarm water and mild dish soap, no ultrasonic cleaners or harsh chemicals. Dry with a microfiber cloth to keep its waxy vitreous luster intact. If you're into energetic cleansing, skip the salt. It can dull the polish. And instead place the stone on a bed of dry herbs like sage or rosemary overnight. Sunlight charging is okay for brief periods, but prolonged exposure may fade the inclusions. Now you might wonder, what if I'm an Aries or a Leo? Can I still rock moss agate? Absolutely. The stone's vibe is gentle enough for anyone. For fire signs, it offers cooling balance. For air signs, grounding. For water signs, clarity. And for fellow earth signs, amplification of inherent stability. The only real mismatch is mindset. If you're actively resisting calm or bearing stress, the stone can feel irritating, like a friend repeatedly suggesting deep breaths when you'd rather rage text. If that's you, pair moss agate with a more energizing crystal, say carnelian, to create a yin-yang effect. One question that pops up in comments all the time: will moss agate attract money? Short answer, maybe indirectly. Historically, it's dubbed an abundant stone because prosperous crops once equaled wealth. In a modern context, think of it as supporting steady, sustainable growth. The budgeting app of gemstones. Combine it with actionable plans and you've got a solid prosperity toolkit. Before we wrap, Let's hit a couple of lightning round FAQs. Can moss agate go in water? Brief rinses, yes. Long crystal water infusions. Skip it. Tiny fissures can trap minerals or soap over time. Is it ethically sourced? Most deposits come from India, Brazil, and the Western United States. Reputable sellers provide mine-to-market transparency, so always ask. Fake alerts? If the moss looks too neon or the base is glittery, you're probably staring at dyed clear quartz. Legit moss agate patterns appear organic, with slight color gradients. Finally, a word on intention. Whether you follow metaphysical beliefs or stick strictly to geology, the simple act of choosing a stone as a daily anchor can steer your mindset. Neuroscientists call it embodied cognition. Physical objects reinforce mental habits. So, when you slip on moss agate, you're training your brain to expect grounded growth, consistency, patience, and a touch of nature you can carry anywhere. Sounds like a pretty solid lifestyle hack. All right, Crystal Fam, that's our moss agate masterclass. If this deep dive helped you decide whether it's your Zodiac sidekick, tap that like button so YouTube's algorithm sends more gem wisdom your way. Drop your sign in the comments and tell me how moss agate shows up in your life. Success stories, unexpected side effects, or even skeptical hot takes. Next week, we're comparing two green legends, moss agate versus malachite. So hit subscribe with notifications on if you don't want to miss that showdown. Until then, stay grounded, stay curious, and keep that heart space as lush as a mossy forest floor. Peace.